Hello, everyone. Today we're talking to Jeanine from Roswell, New Mexico about the season 3 finale. And if you stay tuned, there will be also a special guest. Let's see. The request. Is it going to go through?
Hi!
Hello again.
I can't believe, I feel like it was yesterday we were doing episode 1 chat, and now I'm like, how is it already done?
I know. It ended, and I was like, okay, it all makes sense now. Everything she was telling me, and I was like, now I have to talk about it.
Yes.
Because that season finale, oh my gosh.
It was good, right?
So good. And kept me on my toes till the very end.
Good.
I will say.
We were so proud. We watched it, a good amount of us watched it together. And I just kept texting our showrunner, Chris, and Lance Anderson, who directed those last 2 episodes, which I'm so excited that they were excited about them enough to air them back to back like that. It was just so epic. We've never gotten to do that. And I mean, yeah, so much packed into those last 2. Like, I think you need them served at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. Because if it would have ended the first episode the way it ended with like Kyle just dangling in the air, if I would have had to wait a whole week.
Especially Kyle. How dare they?
Especially Kyle. I was like, they wouldn't do that. They would not take Trevino out of this. No way.
Oh my God, I still can't get over his injury in the first half of the season when Max has to save him. And I remember reading it, and that's the sort of joy of being an actor. We're surprised by stuff constantly on the show, even 4 seasons in now. I couldn't believe how brutal it was, like how big that thing that impaled him was. It looked so sick. I was so worried for him, even though I knew he was going to pull through. It was great. It was great.
Yeah, they really set it up too with like Maria's flash forwards. Like they really made us believe that someone was going to die and that it was going to be Kyle. So
thank God it wasn't. Yeah.
But season 3, like, I mean, it was constantly like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? So as you were acting or reading the scripts, like, did you know how it was going to end before you got to it?
Chris Hollier, our showrunner, who, by the way, sends his love. I told him we were doing this, and he was so excited. He's like, tell him he just had a baby. So, yes, congrats. He had a little baby. I'll tell him you said that. So he couldn't join, but he sends his love, and he's been receiving all the fan love. And I send him, I forward him things when you guys send me stuff. So just know it gets to him, to his non-social media self.
I love that.
Chris definitely clues me in, which I love. Things change and evolve all the time, but him and I have a really great relationship of being in partnership and trying to steer the ship, especially when it comes to keeping Liz's journey on tracks, is how we like to say it. And I think this season, I mean, it was Chris's season to make it what he wanted. And I'm sort of always baffled by how my job is really easy, because I just truly trust him to create a great story. I think this season was just a great story. It was awesome cliffhangers and this spending time with characters, building things up, and then being so, heartbroken by revelations. I thought it was just really masterfully done. So it's fun to clue into stuff, and then some days he'll come running to set and it's a new idea. It's something maybe we haven't discussed, and I can see the excitement in his eyes. I'm like, oh, this is about to rock my world. This is going to be fun. So this season was totally that. And that last moment, that last scene, which I'm sure we got to talk about.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, my God, when he told me that was happening, I got so excited. I mean, first of all, it takes us to Mexico, which is Liz's homeland, Kyle's homeland, Rosa and Arturo, all of them. So all the rich mythology there that we talked about on our first live that we could start to like pull into our series now really excites me, both like culturally and like just like nerdy sci-fi alien-y. I mean, having this big, like, Sherry is here, and we're getting to
Yeah.
tie her in as an actual character in our, you know, extension of the Roswell universe.
Mhm.
And she's just so damn good, man. Like, just that one scene, and you're just like, God damn, you fully are
Yeah.
clued into this woman's whole life and the complications that we've been digging into in season 4. Just really, there's so much that we're gonna find out about her character that's rich and full and so different from Liz Parker, and I think people will love that. And then it was also tying in that these star people are here for Liz Ortecho. This star woman, this alien, was roaming the desert asking for Liz Ortecho. It's like, why would they be asking for this, you know, Latina scientist from a small town? And what is her real place in this, like, cosmic happening, you know?
Yeah.
It gave me goosebumps when Chris first told me that idea, and like we were just like hooting and hollering in the table read when we read it. We were like, "Oh, god damn!" It was awesome.
That was honestly my reaction too.
Good.
I was like, I know that voice because you don't see her, and I was like, no.
So you knew? Good. Okay, great.
Totally knew. I was like, I know that voice. I watched Roswell. I watched Unreal. I watched yeah. For sure.
She's
and
so
the
good.
fact that, like, this season ended up, I mean, the last 2 seasons obviously ended up very sad notes for Max and Liz, but this season ended up on a happy note, kind of. I mean, we're together and everything seems fine, but, like, I love that you guys didn't just leave it at that and you brought in new questions as a viewer.
Totally.
So that's going to be so exciting.
100%. It's so, I love that about Liz and Max, really, like, our whole story, all of our characters, you know, but it's fun to really just be reminded that it's never easy for these two people. They are by definition heroes and protagonists of this show, and their responsibilities so beyond them and their own lives. So it's finding that balance. You know, now we're halfway through shooting season 4, and it was so cool to watch the finale and go like, all right, we're delivering on that promise that that last act really sets up at the end of season 3, where you know, you're trying to figure out, you know, you can't always get what you want, but you also can try again, you know. So we're figuring it out, and they're maturing together, and they're on like a new foundation. It's like they're moving together, which is great. Yeah.
I don't know if I can ask this, but can we expect, our special guest is here, but can we expect Sherry and Jeanine scenes in season 4?
No, I didn't ask Chris whether I could say this or not. As I was
this is why Chris needs to be here, because last time we were like,
hello,
Michael
special
Trevino,
guest.
our special guest.
He's loading in.
Is it gonna work?
It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
Okay.
I believe in his Wi-Fi.
I believe in his Wi-Fi too. Slowly going.
Let's see.
Oh man.
Mikey Tony, can you hear us? I mean, he looks handsome as hell. No surprise there.
I mean, yeah. What were we expecting anything less?
Would we ever expect anything less?
I would never expect anything less.
Of the CW's Michael Trevino? Never.
The CW's Michael Trevino? The Vampire Diaries alum? No.
Yes, exactly. Legend. Oh, it's coming in and out.
A little bit.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Always. Why? Why does it?
There's always one thing, you know.
I like that everybody's still excited. The heart's coming in.
Yeah, everyone was like, Trevino, where's Michael? Michael's right here. We're just trying to.
He's here. Hi, Mikey Tony.
No.
I'm like, come over. I got Wi-Fi here. Get in the car. He's not far. He's down the street. Text him from Oh no.
Oh man.
It'll come together. He'll figure it out.
Well, he'll be there for the audience to look at.
Exactly.
So you're not allowed to tell me then.
I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you.
Okay. I won't push it.
Okay.
Thank
you.
I'll just have my hopes that I get to see OG Liz with new Liz. I mean,
good. I think that's.
I'm gonna say that like Chris wouldn't disappoint us on that.
I think I am with you on that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll say that. I am with you on that. You know, Chris is just like always a champion for the stuff that we all are like just burning for.
Yeah. I know. Oh my God.
So,
yes. Talking about burning for Isabel and freaking Kyle. That's what I wanted to talk to Michael about.
Oh yeah. Man. He'll figure it out and pop back in because we need to. I have truly been rooting for this for so long. And there were moments in like season 2, you know, when they were out at what was it called? Club 7? I can't remember what the club they were at.
Alien, when they were all done up. Wasn't it like the night of the comet or the meteor shower or something like that was going on?
Is this working?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I'm usually pretty good at this, and then it just like I don't know what happened, but we're here. Sorry about that.
No, we're here. Yeah.
We teed up Kyle and Isabel talk, so you nailed it.
You
good, yes, because that's what I'm here for. That's what I want to talk about. Kyle, Isabel, me, Lily, yes, all the time.
Yes, the chemistry. We were just talking about how we've been rooting for it since season 2. We finally set it up, but she's with someone else.
Yeah, I think, it's kind of, I don't know. I try and find the comedy in it because, you know, we tease that so much, right? That like Kyle is really into Isabel, but then she just has so much going on and she's so fluttery in her character, right? And then you have Anatsa coming in and Kyle's just trying to fit in. He's just trying to get in there and it's not happening. But I think it is kind of brutal, right? It's a little sad, but I think that there's some funny moments in there. And we were watching the finale and I think that last scene when he's trying to have a moment with her and they're at the Wild Pony and then Anatsa comes in
so fast.
Last minute. It's so good because it's hilarious. I thought it worked out really well, but you know, hopefully that'll continue going into season 4, what we're filming right now.
I just have to say though, your reaction to like that scene in particular had me cracking up.
Right? Oh, good.
Like,
okay.
The delivery of it. Also, like, who decided Kyle got the best lines this season?
I don't know, but I'm for it.
Because your lines this season were so funny to me.
Yeah, I like that we leaned into more of the, because here's the thing, it's like season 1 you set up this world, right? And where the aliens exist and how are we gonna, you know, coexist together. And now I think we reached the point of like, okay, let's just like lean into the maybe absurdity isn't the right word, but just the craziness of it all, right? Because let's just call it out. Let's just call out what's happening. And I think when we can find those moments in certain scenes with just calling out how bonkers things are, it ends up working out and it's kind of funny. And the audience is taken into it because they're in on it, right? You're in on the joke and I think it works.
Yeah, I think like Kyle is the voice of the audience, honestly.
Sometimes.
That's exactly what
sometimes,
I was
yeah.
Yeah, my favorite Kyle lines are the ones when he busts in and he's like, does anybody else here have a job? You know?
Right. Or like I got to do, what else does nobody know that I have other things going on? Or, and it's the quick, little one line or two.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, the full fire thing when she was like, oh, Dallas can control water. And you're like, you know, I'm a registered EMT, right? Like,
yeah.
I have like
spitting that out quickly.
In my car.
Well, that was funny because on the day I had questioned, that wasn't scripted. I'm a registered EMT. That wasn't in the script. But on the day we were all looking at each other and I was like, why would I have a fire extinguisher in the car? Like, can we how do we justify Kyle's also got a fire extinguisher. Here you go. And so I think the funny was there Isabel being like, well, what are you doing? Go grab it. Like, I'm a registered EMT. I have one there, which is, you know, funny.
It was so good. The other moment of yours that I was dying was you and Nathan when Max is back in the body and it isn't Jones anymore. And he's like, you're like, is that you, Max? And he's like, God damn it. It's not
yeah. Like, I think the body swap was effective. I think that there was moments in that and building up. Yeah, the finale worked for me, I think, at the end, considering like on the day, those are pretty brutal days and long nights in the freezing cold at the top of a mountain for us and the crew and everybody. It was rough. It wasn't easy to shoot, but I think it came together.
Should we tell them what happened on our shooting the finale experience?
Sure,
Yes.
sure. I'll let you go ahead and explain that one. Go for it.
All right, I'll start. You got to add color to this.
Okay, sure.
We had to reshoot the last bit of our show, of our finale, where Liz is deliberating between who to shoot, which clone, because we accidentally killed the wrong one.
We did.
We shot it once, and
snap.
we actually killed Max instead of Jones. And we didn't realize until later, because there's obviously continuity. It's like one body has the busted heart, one body is healthy. And we almost set ourselves up for having killed Max and be stuck with Jones for forever. And then our team caught it, and we had to reshoot the end of the show. And it's been this like running joke of like, we killed the wrong Max.
We did. So like the finale is Liz and Max is in the suit, right? He's wearing the suit. Well, maybe we can get a hold of that footage, but there is footage where she shoots the Max in the suit and he falls, to the ground and he's dead. And it's the Max in the leather jacket that is like where they come together and it's all good. So that footage exists somewhere. But yeah, we shot the wrong Max. We killed the wrong Max, and we had to reshoot that whole thing. And it wasn't. Many people were not happy about that, but we got it.
But then the whole time we just thought, this is going to be hilarious to share one day, and here we are.
Yeah, big mistake, but we can talk about it now because it ended up working out. Like we did those reshoots in the back lot. And so not initially where we shot it. And you couldn't tell because I remember when we were watching, the other night, I was like, on Monday night we were watching, I was like, let's see if we can tell because, man, we shot that in the back lot and hopefully it works. And you couldn't tell. So
you could
now we can make fun of it. But honestly, it was a big.
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. We should see if our editors can pull that and we have this footage of us.
Yeah, add it to the blooper reel for sure.
I'm sure we could. Yeah.
100%.
But on the bright side, if you wouldn't have caught it, all the fans would have caught it and been
exactly.
No, you guys just killed Max.
This is why we should have a fan on staff that could just be there with us being like, hey, actually in season 2 you said this.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But I mean, you caught it, so that's all that matters.
We caught it, thank God.
Season 3 though, I mean, the finale was very emotionally invested in this, but there also was funny side remarks. Is it fun to balance that between the tough stuff and then also the comedic relief?
Oh yeah, I know the two of us really love that too, because we try to bring it into our scenes often. That's what I love about the Kyle and Liz dynamic. They're family. They've known each other for so long, so intimate, so dear to each other. But they're also the humans, They're also the ones that so much of the keeping these people, these aliens alive and well and falls on them and falls on their human hands. So it's the stakes are just so high. They are vulnerable just because they're not super humans. They don't have super abilities. So when we do scenes, it just sort of feels like we're dropping to the basement level and just going how are you doing? They're just real check-ins. And it's fun to be the audience. These two characters really are the audience. It's fun to look at each other and just be like, what the hell are we doing here with all these Oations and aliens? So it's something we really try to balance. I think Chris and the writers did a great job of that this year. It was fun to sort of find our funny through these incredible stakes. Yeah.
Definitely. I think, Liz and Kyle have, we try and bring some groundedness to everything that's going on. But I will have to say, Jeanine's, I mean, she's the MVP because the amount of it's not even exposition, but the medical terms of these chemical equations and everything that she has to do, some of that stuff is just wait, what are you saying? what is this about? And but like she gets it out, and it's still
Mm-hmm.
like believable. It's telling the story, but she has to get it out in this sense of urgency. And so there's so many layers
Yeah.
to that, and getting that out, it is not easy, but she's able to do that every time. But that because the dialogue can be a little tricky there.
Well, thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
Do you, yeah. Do you know what you're saying?
Do you know
Yeah.
what you're saying? That's a great question.
Like,
Ask Jeanine that.
do
Do you
you,
know what
like-
you're saying when you say it?
Like,
So,
do you read it and then you're like, okay, somebody tell me what this actually means?
so my brother-in-law is a doctor, and
okay.
I send him photos of the script, and then God bless him, he's like at work in between saving lives, sending me voice notes, being like pronouncing all the words correctly for me, and like giving me a little gist of what's happening for our TV show, which is just like so ridiculous. So I definitely do that, and yeah, I like to have like I in order to memorize, I need to have an understanding. I know you're like this too, Trevino. We're like we have to at least have an understanding, and that makes it so much easier to do the memorizing. But it was fun. Steven Kruger, who played Heath, who we adore, he was new to this whole science thing, and off the top, he was really excited about that. He was doing some crazy research, you know, trying to figure out everything we were doing, the equipment we were using, all this stuff, and yeah, that was me like season 1 and 2. And I just trust it a little more now, but he was doing research for the two of us.
Nice.
You have experience being a doctor, though. I mean, you're Grey's Anatomy alumni, so you went to Great Sloan.
I have been like using the TV syringes, which are like retractable syringes, for like 5 years now.
You're a pro.
Thank you.
So what was your guys' favorite, would you say, moment of season 3?
Ooh, what was your favorite, Tony Vino?
Damn, favorite moment.
Yeah.
I think, well, like, I think there was a lot more humor coming in, like you were saying, from Kyle. And so that was fun to lean into that. Oh, there was with Jeanine, I forgot which episode it was, but it's when you're like cooking breakfast. It reminded me of this like half-hour sitcom. It was like a half-hour sitcom comedy scene. Yeah. And so we paced it up like that. And that's exactly how we approached it. I remember being like, oh, most of our scenes are about like, what's around the corner or what's next? Or, oh my God. And this was more of a fun, just like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so to have the opportunity, you know, thankful to the writers for giving us the space to be able to play with certain things like that. That just felt different because you try and keep it fresh, right? After going into season 3 and now 4, you don't want to write the same scenes over again, just with something different. So moments like that were very, well, probably my favorite.
I loved your scene that you did like midway through the season, all in Spanish and about the farm workers. I did not, you know, that was one of those scenes, Mikey, Tony, where it was like so sweet and in size, sweet in size on the page, where it was like just this moment it was so impactful on the screen though. Like it landed with such weight. It was beautiful and so easy and just like beautifully done, and you killed it. And you were so like carrying Kyle that's like connected to your Tony Vino heart.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean that was a big deal. I remember early on the season they're like, I think we're gonna have a scene with you speaking Spanish, and I was like, I'm for it. Let's go, let's do that. And I think it worked out well because it wasn't like I was saying 1 or 2 lines. It was a good 2 pages of dialogue speaking Spanish and dealing with these farmers, these workers, and that's a real thing. And so I found myself I felt a little vulnerable there, a little emotional during that scene because he was beat up, right? This farm worker just you completely beat up and his face mashed in, and seeing that was just really sad. And so thank you, Jeanine, for reminding me. But speaking the Spanish is huge, and I do that again in season 4. We've already shot 1 scene in speaking Spanish, but of course you see we end in Careyes, so it's going to be a bit more scenes in Mexico.
These Mexican sets are so gorgeous.
Marco Trevino just answered my question from earlier then.
When I was having Wi-Fi problems. When I was having technical glitches. Yeah.
Wasn't me.
Oh, talking about bringing the Spanish though, and like the culture and to the light of Roswell, New Mexico, what has your guys' experience been like reviving a show that was predominantly white back then, and now we're taking a Hispanic turn? Like, what has your experience been to revamp the show and still have fans love it?
It's the best stuff ever. I mean, it's really the best stuff ever. And I think we often go, you know, first of all, why do a reboot? And second of all, why even bring a show out to the television landscape right now? Like, what is the real reason and purpose behind it? And this made all the sense in the world. It felt like giving this its due. It felt like giving this book series that Melinda Metz wrote so long ago, and that it was Lizarteco, and this does take place in a border town, and to give it its iteration where it honors that felt like the most natural and right thing. So I'm always just so grateful we get to see, for sure, us, like these people, these, you know, cultures represented, but also just New Mexico honestly represented too, you know. It just adds so much value to our show, and I just feel like we're all constantly invested in just trying to truly mirror New Mexico, all its facets, its native population, you know, it's Spanish, it's Mexican, back to the world. It feels like a little window into a space that hasn't been honored as much as she deserves to be honored, New Mexico.
Yeah, it's special out here. It's special out here. And I love, you know, I'm reminded of the scenes that Jeanine has with her family, with Rosa and Arturo. And those are, Arturo just brings, you know, he's, I think he lives in Houston, but he comes in as a, you know, reoccurring. But when there's something in his cadence, his speech, it's familiar to me. And I think it's familiar for most people who come from, you know, Hispanic backgrounds. And the way that he interacts with his two daughters they're just getting it right in the writer's room. It just feels right. And if not, I know Jeanine's in there. She's tweaking on the day to get it to where it needs to be. And it's great to see that, and to see that these families, these types of families on a network television show that's in primetime. And for me personally, God, I never would have thought, you know, that I would have been speaking Spanish, you know, on this show for the CW. But given that opportunity, and that the fact that like we're doing more of it, it's huge. It's huge. Things have changed. Things have changed in a big way, and I think the audience is. I'm thankful that they appreciate that, and they're still in for that ride and want to see these stories from different faces.
I think you and I both, Mikey, Tony, like we had this come up in the industry and the beginnings of our career where we were really playing passing characters. And I know I often just played white, and it's crazy to me. I know that was your experience too. And to now for the two of us to meet on this network, on this show, and get to bring our full selves, or so much of ourselves that was often not, you know, a part of what we got to bring to the camera to work every day, is just like so cool. We geek out on days when, like, remember in season 2, you know, when we had like Justina Adorno with us, or, you know, Rosa Redondo, who plays Sheriff Valenti, and like those days.
Yeah, my mom.
You know, your mama, when it was the, you know, all of us and Arturo in our chairs, just looking around, I'm just going like, this is crazy. This is awesome. Look how many of us are here.
But it also shows like you know, I come from a Mexican background, and my mother, I look more like my mother. She's very light complected, but she's actually from Mexico, and you know, came over. But it's you know, Mexicans look like me. Cubans look like Jeanine, and it's a generation. You know, it's changing, but this is the representation now, I suppose, and it's a good thing. And I'm glad that I'm able to, you know, bring life to that a bit. Yeah.
We had another Latina character introduced at the end there, that new alien who's roaming the desert saying Lizarteco. And Bridget, she's going to be with us in season 4 too. So
yeah, she's great. She's great.
She's great.
Yeah, Bridget's super talented, and she's a fierce. She's bringing a great energy.
And she is Cubana and Mexicana, which I love.
Yeah,
I was like, welcome.
Yeah, she's the best of both of us right
best
here.
Of both
she's
worlds.
She's bringing that to season 4.
Yeah. So it's rad.
Oh man, I do love that. Speaking of season 4, what are you guys most excited for fans to see?
Okay, you go first.
What am
like, I know you can't tell
look,
me anything.
okay, yeah.
But...
I have. I'll say this. I have a lot more scenes with Isabel, and we're going to see how their friendship blossoms.
Yes.
Oh.
How it evolves.
Okay.
How it's. I don't. You know what I'm getting at. It's happening. We're getting there.
Wow. I'm excited.
I sit at the table reads. This is not a joke. I sit at the table reads, fanning myself.
Oh man.
No one's more excited than
we have
me.
good stuff. Yeah, for me, that's what I'm excited about. And we're like, what are we, halfway through? Not even, almost halfway through the season. So there's still more I have no idea about. But so far, yeah, I like where I'm headed. What about you, Jeanine?
Ooh! My gosh. You know, okay, I think I'll say this. I'm excited about the guest stars that we have with us and the fun stories that they're starting to bring to our show. Season 4, you got to get some new blood to shake stuff up. And I know everybody really loved Quentin as Dallas, and we're so excited he's back with us for season 4. He's been doing beautiful work. David DeSantos, who plays Eduardo Valenti, is back with us. And then we have this new trio of characters, Bridget, who is back with us for this season. And then we have Zoe and Andrew. Andrew's a old Originals guy.
Originals guy. Yeah.
And so...
and they're really important. They're really important reoccurring characters this season that really expand this world for us. And they've been doing a great job.
It's going to be good. It's been fun. It's been really fun. So I'm pumped about that. And then the other thing, which I'm very pumped about this season, is that Mr. Mikey Tony is going to be directing.
It's true.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm getting a shot. It's my shot up. So I'm going to be directing an episode this season. Been preparing for it for a while now. Really excited, nervous, but I'll be ready to go. And I think that's coming up soon.
It's so cool.
Exciting.
It's one of the coolest things about getting to do this. You know, like spending this much time with a show and with a family. It's amazing to see how all of us are growing in our own ways. And like, this is something he's been working towards since literally day one on the show. So like, we all just couldn't be more excited for him. And I'm going to be such a diva. You should.
I'm ready. Send it my way. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm very grateful for the opportunity and for the producers and everybody to have my back and support me. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. So I don't take it lightly, but I'm getting an episode this season. So I'm excited.
Yeah. So season 4 is shaping up to be pretty good.
We're good. Everything's great.
I mean, with the setup that you ended on season 3, it's bound to be great.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. It's a hell of a cliffhanger. Yeah, for sure. I think it brings all the OG fans and the new fans together here.
For sure. We were live tweeting, and when Sherry popped up, people were like, okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Binge this. Yeah.
It's so good.
So October, not only is it the season 3 finale, but it's also Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah.
So since I have you two here today, I wanted to ask you just 2 quick questions about Latinx art. What is your favorite underrated TV show, movie, or performance by a Latinx performer or centered show or movie?
Oh,
damn! Wow, that's putting me on the spot. I'm gonna have to go a second.
Okay, I'm gonna say, this is my girl crush, man. I've been talking about her nonstop lately. She's gonna literally send me a restraining order. Natalie Morales. I love her. I am finally catching up on Dead to Me on Netflix, and she recurs in the 2nd season. And goddamn, that woman is so funny, and sort of what we were talking about earlier of just really finding the balance of just such grounded reality and the levity. And, I just watched her directorial debut, I guess film debut. She's done some TV, Plan B for Hulu, some great talent in that movie, and I'm just really impressed with Natalie. I'm always excited about what she does next. I love those kinds of actors where you're just, you don't know what's going to come next, and you're pumped about how delighted you're going to be by it.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of people that, Latin actors I'm a fan of. There's many now. There's probably some that I'm not even aware of that I need to, someone needs to put me on them. But I have to say that, and I've met him once, and he was a joy to be around, was Michael Pena. That guy, ever since Crash, but like he does everything. Like he does the voiceover work. He does these crazy comedies. He could do the real deep, grounded drama, and you believe him, right? So he's not just in one category of like, oh, he's the funny guy, or oh, he's the, playing this Hispanic character that's, a supporting role. Like he's the lead character in most things, and he's constantly working. The guy's in everything. And so I got to give my props to Michael Pena. I'm a fan of that gentleman.
Such a fan.
Yeah.
See if we can drag him onto our set.
And can you each remember or recount the first time you saw a Latin actor, actress that resonated with you?
Why did Antonio Banderas as Zorro just pop into my brain?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not.
Antonio
Because here's the thing. Here, let me just give some context. Let me give it some context. Whenever I'm in these like interviews and you get like a question that puts you on the spot and you got to answer, I always go with what pops in my head first. It's never like I don't have any go-to answers that I keep in my back pocket. It's always like how I'm feeling on the day. So to answer that, I'm going to be like, there was a time when Antonio Banderas, it was like Desperado, he did, right? Zorro. There was like a run of things, and I was like, this Latin guy getting down. So that would be my answer, because that's what popped into my head first.
I love that. Goddamn, that movie.
I love
Tony
it.
Vino. Good. Maybe that's the Halloween costume.
And I think it's funny because it's like it's Antonio Banderas, but I don't know why
October.
that's really funny to me. I think
All
that's
right,
really funny.
I'm gonna get you a Zorro costume to wear to Lily and Heather's for Halloween dinner.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to think. I have a couple that I just remember being like, oh wow. I remember watching West Side Story and seeing Rita Moreno and just being like, I mean, God, the woman, she's our girl. Like she's our one for so long. But I think that alone doesn't, that's not the full story. Like the full story is she's a singular talent, singer, dancer, actor, regardless of all the rest of it. And watching her do it all to like the level she was doing it, I remember just being like, oh my God, like it's being done. It's being done to that degree. Like I can do this too. I'm gonna push to try to do it all. I didn't feel like silly or maybe that was too much to aspire to, it's like she really gave me permission to just like wildly dream and wildly go after all of the facets of being an entertainer I wanted to try to tackle. So yeah, Rita Moreno, let's be real. I'm a Latina. It's 2020. Rita Moreno.
She played my grandmother on a series. My first series ever, Kane. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Wow.
It was. I was on set with Rita Moreno, Hector Elizondo, and Jimmy Smits. Jimmy Smits played my father. Yeah, that was my first series for CBS called Kane back in the day. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't even. I was excited to be working, and I was just like in a master class of just like, oh, so this is how this works. Because it's your first series. It's your first, like series regular role. You don't really know how the pace of the days go and TV, and you're just learning so much. And then you're just watching these people perform, and you're like, oh my God. Yeah, too much for me at the time. I was very young. But yeah, those are legends in the game.
Legends.
All-star cast right there. And they're still putting out great content.
Yeah.
One day at a time.
Can't be stopped.
Moreno, and one day at a time.
She's just, dude, it's the dream to be like creating even, with no boundaries, with like no limits. Like I would love to just get to constantly work. It excites me to think about, this is how we talk about stuff all the time, Tony, but like, saying yes to friends' projects, like saying yes to like just getting to create, even if it's on a tiny scale, alongside getting to create on the level we get to do on this show, But I think about like how giving she is, Rita, to say yes to so many, you know, Latinx creators, showrunners, writers, actors as they're coming up, and like her lending all that she is to it is just like cannons, like shooting cannons of us getting to like ascend in the industry. Like that's the gift she is still giving people in, you know, in how many decades has she been doing this? Like, gosh, amazing, vital to us. It's beautiful.
I have to say, Michael Vlamis says hi in the comments.
Is he in here?
Yeah, I just saw him pop in.
How dare he? Get out of here!
Glamis. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's another one, though. Michael, man. Oh, man. I was like, can we
love
just
Michael
get a happy
Glamis.
season with Michael Vlamis? That's all I want. I just want everyone to be happy. And I know that's not realistic.
Oh, man.
What are you going to do?
He's that guy. He was killing it this year. He is so good at his like journeyman like broodingness. It is so beautiful to watch.
Yeah. I will say both Michaels stole the show this season for sure.
I agree. So many.
Now October, also Halloween. So 2 questions. What is your favorite costume that you've ever done?
I was Beavis from Beavis and Butthead on MTV, and it was in 3rd grade, and this was when like Beavis and Butthead was on MTV, and it was like children shouldn't watch this. And I told my mom, I was like, I want to be Beavis. I got to be Beavis. And so I got the helmet, like the little mask, and then the shirt where they worked at, which was like the fast food chain that they worked at, and I wore that on top. And I remember like my mom was like, you might get in trouble. I was like, I don't care. I love this show. And and it was in 3rd grade. And I remember like, you know, wearing the Beavis for Beavis and Butthead back when that was like, cause you remember this was like the 90s, I guess. And
yeah,
it was a problem. It was like, kids shouldn't be watching this show. And maybe they shouldn't have, but it was hilarious.
But I feel like that's how it was though in the 90s period. It was like, should I be watching this?
Right.
I've been watching that at a young age.
That was one of my favorite costumes, and that was in 3rd grade. Yes.
That's hilarious.
Did you have a butt head though, or you were just?
I didn't know, because everybody else's parents were like, you probably shouldn't wear that, but my mom was like,
it's
go
okay.
ahead. Yeah.
Still character.
Yeah.
So I grew up dancing, and we would have these like recitals, and you know, these costumes were gorgeous and expensive, and like so many rhinestones and like so elaborate. So for the really like all of my childhood, we didn't buy Halloween costumes like at Party City. We would just reuse dance costumes, and then they were often like abstract enough that I would have to like make it something, you know, like it was like I was a flower fairy in some ballet, but then I'd be like, I'm a nymph from Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. Like the creativity was reworking them. But yeah, nice. My sister and I were always in like the most bedazzled Halloween costumes, and it's because they were all dance costumes. Yep.
I love that though. Repurpose.
Yeah. That's the Latin way. We repurpose everything. We have like the latas of the tins of crackers.
That I was like a different version of a softball player because I had so many softball jerseys. I was like, oh, softball player. Oh, I'm going to be Harley Quinn when she's in her softball uniform. Like,
right.
I can do it. I can do it.
Yeah.
That's, you know, the like Cafe Bustelo like tins, you know, like that's gold. That is Tupperware. You don't get rid of that.
That was my grandma's favorite thing to do. The pie tins that they would come in. She was like, that's not trash. You can reuse that.
We were the OG environmentalists.
Exactly.
Right.
Recycling.
In a way, yes. Sure.
Reuse, repurpose.
Sustainable fashion, right? Before it was a thing is what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your guys' favorite scary movie?
Oh, Exorcist.
Exorcist?
Again, that's what just popped in my mind. Just because I was at Halloween Horror Nights and they had the Exorcist maze, and it was really good.
Did you go? I did not go through that one. I was like, nope.
No, that one's really good. That was probably the best one. So that's what's popped into my mind right now. I would say The Exorcist, one of my favorite scary movies, but also now A24, Midsummer was really, really good too. That one shook me walking out of that movie. What, 3 years ago, I guess?
Florence Pugh. We love Flo.
Yeah, super
I
talented.
love her.
So talented.
Her and Black Widow, so good.
Oh, she killed it.
She stole the show.
We had a full celebration. Florence and I know each other for many years, and I adore her. We played sisters on a pilot that never went anywhere, and the day she got nominated for the Oscar, I remember we were shooting our finale, and I like bust out of my trailer, and Lily and Wham were outside. They're like, she got nominated. I'm like, she got nominated. We were all so excited. It was awesome. But yes, Exorcist. Okay, so I've never really been a scary movie person. I'm trying to like get more into it now. I just watched Scream 1 and Scream 2 because I want to watch the new one that's coming out this year.
The classics.
I was like truly shocked by how brutal Scream is. I had no idea. It was like, and I also just, it's so, I think it's my kind of scary movie because scary, gory, but also like, you know, laughing at itself and a bit of a, you know, pressure release and so many like nerdy film references. I'm like, okay. So I'm hoping that continues through 3, 4, and 5, which now I'm gonna watch. Like, just take my money. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, obviously you have to finish it. I will say 4 wasn't the best.
Wasn't the best. I figured. But you know,
I hate to say it, but oh no.
I'm gonna watch it anyway, and I'm almost rooting for it to be worse. It's always more fun when it's awful.
It's the satire element though of it that just keeps you entertained.
It's just so fun. So we'll see. But I gotta watch Rosemary's Baby too. That's on my list. I've never seen it, and it takes place in New York, and it's like, you know, my part of town. So I'm like, all right, do I want to watch this, or am I gonna never be able to walk around the neighborhood alone?
You should watch it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
And lastly, I wouldn't be doing my job unless I asked this question. So, would you rather be a werewolf or an alien?
These days, probably an alien these days. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
They're weirdos, man. Let's get weird.
When is Jeanine gonna play an alien, though? I want you to do double duty and play an alien. We've seen it from Nathan Dean. Michael has done double duty on Vampire Diaries, so now
I have. Jeanine, we may have an opportunity to see.
He was Klaus, and he was.
Yeah, I was able to play a couple different characters.
Also, weren't you like your grandpa or something like that, or like your great
the Klaus
relative
thing
at
I
one
can
point?
remember. Some stuff I kind of it's just gone.
Sometimes I feel like a little like baby, and I'm just like still new to the CW, even though it's been 4 years. And I'm just like, you played how many characters on that show?
Listen,
A good chunk.
Yeah, a good amount.
He went through it.
Well,
on
I don't
that
know.
show.
There might be a moment where Jeanine plays not a different character, but she may be put in a situation where you're different, right?
I am so down. I was just talking to Danny Tolley, who is incredible, one of our producers on the show, writer, also Latino, and just like a big part of this beautiful farm worker scene that we were talking about earlier. He and I were talking the other day. He's like, all right, we were playing with what the Roswell spinoff would be. Okay. And I told him I'm very down to Kristen Bell this situation and be the narrator a la Gossip Girl.
I love that.
Nice.
I would be so down.
That's like a decade-long job, too. Kristen Bell's back for the reboot, too.
You know? Good for her.
But you knock out a full season in like one day of work. It's great. You just do a voiceover for 12 hours. You get paid. It's awesome.
I mean, yeah.
All
she says is XOXO Gossip Girl.
That's
my
it.
God. I'll think of
different ways.
Cha-ching.
You know? I'm in. But already thinking about the spinoff. What would the spinoff be?
You can create it right now.
Yeah,
off the top of your head.
Send us your ideas.
I just want Kyle and Isabel spinoff.
Oh my God, I'm there.
Yeah,
I'll sit in the corner just gawking at them.
Let's make that a half-hour comedy. That'd be cool.
That's good. That's good.
Sounds good. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for having me.
Celebrating the finale. Of course.
It was
had
so
to bring
fun.
in special guest Michael Trevino.
Yes, indeed. And thanks for everybody coming in here and hanging out and listening,
Yeah.
watching us, listening to us talk and chat. Appreciate you all.
Oh, appreciate you all so much. And it was really, it's just so cool getting to see the reaction to season 3 and the finale, and just being halfway through season 4. I just hope you all know how excited we are to make you happy, and maybe sometimes not so happy, but then you'll be happy eventually.
Correct.
To depart, can
Yeah.
you tease season 4 in one word?
Complicado for Hispanic Heritage Month.
Okay.
Very nice. Very good. Way to
Complicated. Complicated.
Oh.
For me answering, I would have to say vulnerability.
Ooh.
Mm.
I love
It might
it.
be Kyle's journey is vulnerability. So that's what I'm giving.
I love it.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see season 4.
Alrighty.
And
Oh, nice.
more after that. All the seasons.
Hell
Absolutely.
yeah.
Whenever it comes to us.
XOXO Pod Squad. Maybe that's it.
There it is. Good
There
job.
you go. That's your sign off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much.
You got it.
I will talk to you about season 4.
Bye, babe.
See
Thanks
you on
so
the
much.
next one. Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.
now.
Bye.
Bye now.